everybody, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, and what's not quite a motorcycle and not quite a car? Well, it's going to be the Polaris Slingshot. This is a 2017 Polaris Slingshot. I'm at Indian of Oklahoma City. Everything's like a car here. You turn your key on, press to start. The 4-cylinder Ecotec engine, 170 horsepower, 4-cylinder. Manual transmission, 5-speed, regular, like an old-fashioned car. Get ready to take this thing out for a little bit of a drive. I don't know how well you guys can see here. Now this is kind of like a trike in a way. Very reminiscent of a very large Can-Am Spider. Except doesn't have a saddle position, it's a side-by-side. The seat belts are a little backwards. They come from your right to your left instead of left to right. But overall, kind of cool. Now these things can be equipped with lots of fun different things, like a backup camera. It can have GPS, it can have a big touch screen here, but this is just a base model, so there's no radio to play with. It does have cruise control still, I've noticed. So it's got some neat little things going with it. Nice short throw transmission. Oh, not quite like my V-dub though, so got to get used to this shift pattern here real quick, because it's much shorter than I'm used to right now. Alrighty. Yeah, when your V-dub has a longer throw, that's kind of weird, but here we go. I think I've got settled in there. Alrighty, kind of look at that. There's the gearbox. Kind of interesting to look out of on this thing, that's for sure. You sit very low in this. Got some driveline noise, but we've already determined what that was, so I'm not going to be too concerned. It's just one of those things where the drive belt's a little bit too tight. It does put all of its power through that belt drive to a single rear wheel. So you do got to be careful, because some people who get a little spirited with this engine actually will burn the poor thing down to the ground. It does have a little glove box right there. Pretty intuitive gauge cluster here. You have your speed on the left, your tacho on the right. Has engine coolant warnings. It does have advisory, basically, if there's something going on with traction control, stuff like that. Service engine light, bright. It has the signal indication on each side. Fuel warning. Fuel gauge is in there, digital. It does have fasten seat belts, park lamp, oil, and it has cruise control indication. Like I said, traction control on-off, tire monitoring system, and brake failure ABS, all this other fun stuff here. Stock over here has the cruise control here. So, clutch engages pretty quickly, nice and snappy. Yeah, third gear and I right now still not quite getting along, because I'm still used to my throw pattern in my Golf. If I would have had a GTI, it probably would have been a little bit better. I just have a stock one. Gotta admit, it's a nice little open air little ride here. It's comfortable. It's like driving a car. Not very motorcycle-like. The only reason I'm reviewing this kind of like a motorcycle is because of the sheer fact that a lot of states include these as a motorcycle. You have to have your M endorsement to purchase them. Now, I believe our state has finally made a ruling that you can actually drive these without an M endorsement, just a regular Class D license, as they are now considered, I think, an auto car. I can't remember how they put it. There's a wording to it that makes it legal now. Seems to turn nicely. We'll get up on the highway here in a moment and find out here in a moment. Braking is really good on this little guy. Try to see if I can find some specs on it, see how much it weighs and all that, how much these brakes have to handle. It sounds like your stereotypical 4-cylinder of today, so there's no real difference in noise. Let me get by this truck here. Oh yeah, this thing turns great. This is hilarious. Oh yeah, that's definitely just a tight belt. Now, surprisingly, with the amount of windscreen you have here and all that, there's actually some very good buffeting at the very top of my helmet. But nothing that's scary or anything. Oh, you sit really low to the ground. Mirrors are manual adjust on this one. Probably on the higher end ones, I bet you they're electronic adjust, but this one happens to be just standard. This is pretty cool. That is not me. That's the person behind me. You could see that right there. Alrighty. Cut over here real quick. Great visibility up to the left side. Right side, not so much. Got to rely on that mirror. And like I said, it's not a power adjusted mirror, so I wasn't able to adjust that one. I didn't realize how bad it was off. I could see a decent bit out of it, but not good enough. Really well suspended. I mean, it's got a nice aggressive suspension setup, but it's not like scary. Doesn't bounce you too much. It's very comfortable, but it's tight enough that if you want to dive into a turn, there's no roll in the body or anything. There you go. Now, I have to say that I should downshift for that one because there's not too much pull there in top gear from 50 to 60. But now at 60, you get better pull, so needed a downshift there. But didn't complete it there. Just wanted to see what it would do in top gear to 60 back again from that construction zone there. What's interesting is how the front fenders and everything look from down here. Kind of uses it to, it kind of reminiscent of a Corvette actually, but you can kind of use it to guide yourself down the lines here and know exactly where you are in the lane. I kind of like that in a way. Very aggressive looking, very cool looking. Like I said, you cannot see at all to the right. That's one thing. Make sure that mirror's adjusted. It's a good mirror. It's out there quite a bit. And I could kind of see the other lane, but the way it's facing, it's too far up. So it's kind of hard to gauge distance there. Yeah, it's got a little horn and everything. I'm just not going to play with it. And this little toggle switch here goes through fuel range, current mileage, current trip, trip 2, ambient air temperature, 97 degrees. An average of 16.4 miles per gallon. Overall, neat little system there. Go ahead and take the turn off here. Head back. Transmission's actually really good. The short throw on it is awesome. I mean, it's a very positive transmission. You can find what gear you're getting into real easily. Once you get used to it. If you're not used to short throws. That's hilarious. Second gear. So I can get a flying start here. Oh gosh. That's fun. There we go. Oh man. Well, so I mean, it's got the adjustable seat and everything, so you can kind of set yourself up. I sit like this naturally because at one time in my life I played around with dirt cars and kind of got used to sitting closer to the wheel and a little bit differently as if in a race car at all times, because I found out it gives you more control. And I mean, this thing sits like that perfectly. It kind of fits you like a glove. Feels more like you strapped on, or you're strapped into it. It just feels like you're a part of this thing. And it's total control. I mean, the steering is great on it. The power delivery is amazing to that one wheel. It got a little bit loose back there. It wasn't too bad at all. It's nothing you can't handle. It's a cool little deal. I don't know what to call it though, because like I said, it's not a motorcycle and it's not a car either. It's just a fun little, exciting half trike, half car, half something or other. But it's awesome. So, if you have any questions about the 2017 Polaris Slingshot, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to get back with you. I mean, if this is something that you got to get your motorcycle license for in your state, is it worth the effort? Yes, it is. It definitely is. It's a fun little ride. Not everybody will ever get on two wheels because some people are just, you know, there's just things they cannot do. But if you want to be in the air and you want to have fun and you don't want a dadgum convertible car, you just want something that's great to drive, great to ride, or, well, I guess if you're a passenger, great to drive in, great to ride in, and actually have a blast of a time, then this is definitely the vehicular device for you. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Vehicular device is all this is. It's awesome. I mean, this is a fun little drive for sure. At any rate, keep that shiny side up, folks, and have a good one. And, oh, I should say this. This little Polaris Slingshot's over here at Indian of Oklahoma City. That's located at 10th Street, just off the Broadway extension over there by the railroad tracks. So if you're coming from the north, as I am, like from Edmond, and you get off at 10th Street, take a right, and just before you hit the road tracks, it's on the right. And if you're coming from the south, take an exit on 10th Street, take a left, just before you get the railroad tracks, to the right again. So hopefully, talk to Scott. He's a great man, and he'd love to see you there. Have a good one, folks.